What's up, people? My name is JR and I'm consulting in the music business. Welcome back to Game Told. Today I just wanted to discuss homophobic and cancel culture in the music business. It's well documented right now. If you must be living underneath a rock if you haven't heard that DaBaby has gone on stage and said a whole bunch of homophobic slurs and dissing victims of HIV/AIDS. And I was just looking into the story, and it just seems like there's a whole lot of criticism going on and lack of education. So, if you know, this is not the first time this has happened. I mean, cancel culture has been around from day one. It's been around for so long, it's unbelievable. I mean, I remember as far back as Shabba Ranks in the 90s, where he had gone on TV in the UK actually, and they asked him a question or something, and he just went on a ramble. And if you know any Jamaicans, you know how they feel about homosexuality and stuff like that.
Shabba, are you a Buju Banton fan?
Well, most definitely right now, from a forfeit the law of God Almighty, you deserve crucifixion. Most definitely. The Bible, I live by the concept of the Bible, which is the righteousness of every human being. And the Bible stated that man should multiply. The multiplication is done by a male and a female.
That's absolute crap, and you know it.
You two go and sit up, and we'll go and see what Katie's doing, because this.
And which I'm not saying is right or condoning it, but it's been around. It's been around a while. So Shabba Ranks was basically one of the massive, biggest artists in the world, and it just so happened that after that particular interview, it was like a chain reaction worldwide. He lost any endorsements he had. He lost all partnerships with MTV, name it, whoever he was aligned with. They all shut that whole thing down. He had no allies at all, and we never heard from him again till maybe over 10 years later. So for at least 10 years, we didn't hear from him. And he started popping up on a few artists, remixes here and there, but never anything major. He was basically never allowed to be on a major platform or nothing like that. And I don't know if he put out an apology or not. Maybe he did, I don't know. But we fast forward to now. DaBaby's been attacked. He's been attacked, and rightly so. When you do something wrong, you get punished for it. I believe in that strongly. When somebody makes a mistake, they have to suffer the consequences for it, especially when they know what they're doing is wrong. Now, a lot of times, from working with a lot of artists, I realize that they develop this ego within them and start thinking they're above the law. We've seen that with artists committing crimes and doing stupid shit, and you think like, wow, all that money, all that fame, all the good life, all your family's happy. Why are you doing that? We've seen all this happen. It's just egos that plays in their head, and they just begin to think they're somebody that they're not. So when I saw this anyway, I digress. So when I saw this, I was like, wow, like DaBaby must have known that this was going to ruin him. I mean, what makes a person who's flying high? You're at the peak of your career. You know, you're untested, untried. Nobody can mess with you, basically. You're just flying high, and everything is DaBaby. I mean, he had a clothing line that he designed with Boohoo. He had a few other things that he was doing, which were very, very lucrative. And he's now lost all these things. And yeah, you can be arrogant and say, oh yeah, I don't want to do this, I want to do that. I'm not gonna apologize for this and this and that. But yo, these things hurt pockets. And at the end of the day, the music business is a business. Regardless of how much fun you're having, or where you think you're going, or who you think you are, this is always a business, and you have to treat it as such. So the baby's now feeling it, and he put out an apology. Either way, he put out an apology and he apologized. Now this whole idea of cancel culture is very, very deadly. There's no coming back from it unless you've got a really good PA team and they know how to swing these things. But it takes me back to 2001 when Eminem first came out. 2001. And every other word was a homophobic slur. He said a few things, he got attacked, and he ignored it, and as it started brewing up, he had to address it. And how did he address it? He addressed it by putting Elton John on one of his biggest selling songs, which was Stan. So instead of having Dido sing the hook at the Grammys, he got Elton John to come and sing it. So apparently he had apologized to him, and in a nice way, he wanted to show visually solidarity, that he stands with people who are homosexuals, and not, he was just joking, and don't take it serious. So he went on stage with Elton John. After they finished, he held his hand in solidarity, raised it up, and it was all over. He didn't get cancelled. It was fine. Then you fast forward to 2017, 18. He releases a song on his album where he disses Tyler the Creator. Go check it out. I'm not gonna put it on here because I don't want to get cancelled, because you guys are quick to cancel people. But he uses another homophobic slur and nothing happens. Nothing at all. Elton John, of all people, again, steps up and saves the day for Eminem. Backs him, that's my friend. He didn't do this. He didn't mean it like that. We have to leave him alone. And he's a big advocate. He's a big name. He came out to be gay when it wasn't cool to be gay at all. When people would absolutely ruin you, when people would absolutely cancel you for being gay in the music business in those days. So he was out full flame, didn't deny it. So Elton John is one of those people that's very well respected in the gay community. So anyway, he comes out, he backs him again. They do the rounds. The statement he puts out does the rounds and stuff. Eminem's off the hook. A few years later, the baby goes and does that, and he's cancelled. I mean, okay, he's cancelled and he's being punished for what he did. But seriously, why is Eminem not being cancelled? Why has he been allowed to get away with this? And then, and the baby, Shabba Ranks, and numerous other people, and loads of Jamaican artists can't perform in the UK, by the way, because of their content. Butch Bunton being one, I guess, and a few others. Every time they've been booked over here, people have sabotaged it. Well, not people, but the gay community have sabotaged these shows happening. And some of these guys have apologized, but still, nothing. But Eminem has been able to roam free. You tell me why. But what I will say is, look, everybody needs to be accountable for their actions, especially people who are in the public eye. If you're an artist and you think you're above the law, or you're above criticism, or you're untouchable, and it's very easy to feel that way, because many times you'll see that money, power, a lot of attention, female attention, male attention, people drooling over you. Everywhere you go, people are laying down red carpets for you and stuff. It's very easy to lose touch of reality and go into this psyche and this mindset, have this mindset of thinking that you're the be all end all and everybody needs to bow to you and you can say and do what you want. And very quickly you'll find out it's not the case. We've seen it happen with artists like Lil Wayne going to jail. Yeah, he didn't go for long, but he went to jail for holding guns and, you know, all this crazy shit that you keep hearing artists do. I mean, sometimes, yeah, they're high, sometimes they're drunk and stuff, but you need to hold it together. You're a public figure. There's certain things you just can't do. And they know this. I don't have to reiterate. You don't have to reiterate. The papers, the blogs, everybody talking about it doesn't have to reiterate. These people are aware of what they need to do in order to stay out of trouble and what will land them in trouble as well. There's a few things that you have to keep to yourself, no matter how you feel. Sometimes you have to bite your tongue. To be honest with you, if you ask me, I say work on yourself and, you know, do the right thing. Be nice. It doesn't cost anything. I mean, in the baby's case, talking about people with HIV and all this other stuff, some people were born with it. They didn't choose to have it. They didn't go and they weren't irresponsible and contracted the disease and then in the end, you know, they got it. No, they were born with it. Some people didn't even realize they had it. I mean, back in the 90s and stuff, when AIDS first reared its head and it was killing people like quickly in loads, you could get it from a barber using an unsterilized blade and stuff like that. So to go and say things like that is very insensitive. But I must say, it's not the time to cancel people. It's not the time to dismiss people, because these people do have families that they're feeding. And if they don't, it's not just about their families either. It's about the people, the entourage that you see with them. I mean, one person, Soulja Boy said it the best. Like at one point he was arguing with Ice-T and Ice-T was like, yeah, you're rubbish, you're a shit rapper, you're ruining hip hop and stuff like that. During the whole argument, I remember he did a video with his boys and then he stopped the camera and he said, listen, at the end of the day, you have to remember this. I've got 5 people here with me. All these 5 people could have been out here robbing you, sticking you up, doing all these things to innocent people. But I showed them a different way. I brought them along with me and taught them the business. And now, when I make money, they make money. So when they make money, they go and look after their families. Now these kids were 17, 18, 19. But they were still making enough money to look after themselves and their families, you know? So it's not just one person that gets affected. It's families upon families. So imagine all those 5 people, including Soulja Boy, 6. They all have families of maybe 6 or 5 each. Do the math, add it up. That's a lot of people that are missing out because of one person's silly actions. Now, you have to be very careful, and your people around you have to be very smart and switched on. It's very, very important that this happens. You have to have a level-headed person, someone who's level-headed more than everybody else in that circle or your camp, that always be like, whoa, what does that mean? I mean, you can't do that. Why? Speak up. Someone who's not scared to speak up. I mean, it was in the heat of the moment, so I don't see how a manager or anybody could have gone and told him beforehand, because they couldn't see it going that way. But the baby, he has some troubles. You know, he's a troubled individual. I mean, we've seen instances where he's had that fight at the mall. We've seen instances where he's walked into Walmart and somebody was trying to take the mick out of him, take the piss out of him. And guns were drawn, and he had his legal pistol on him, and he shot the guy. The guy died, and he got away scot-free because he had a legal gun and he was well in his rights because he was being attacked. CCTV cameras confirmed and everything. So, so that's a man who understands the law. That's a man who understands accountability. So what would make him go and do something like that? So, like I said, every offense deserves punishment, but I don't think he should be cancelled for life and forever. I don't think so. I think education is needed. He should be educated, And I believe that this situation here is the best education for him, because it's hit him where it hurts. He can't go and get a 9 to 5. He's not that type of person. Your face is in the public eye. You can't just leave and go and get 9 to 5 and say, okay, I'm just gonna get on with life. No, you do that, people will turn up to your workplace and start harassing you. It happened with one of the guys who used to be on the Cosby Show. He was in a supermarket bagging groceries. People would turn up with videos filming him, and the Cosby Show ended 20 years ago. So that's the kind of, you know, situation he finds himself in. So I don't think that he should be cancelled. No, I think he should be educated. I think he should be punished. He's being punished now. He's lost a lot of money. I don't think, I think it will be very hard for him to soar back to those levels of fame and in his career that he had. Now, unfortunately, he's known for the wrong things. If you Google DaBaby, this is one of the biggest things that will come up, instead of the talent that he has. And he's a very talented artist. So, yeah, look, like I said in the beginning, Game Told is all about education. And I've been an artist manager before. I've been in and around crews and seen scenarios. I've been on marketing teams. I've sat in meetings where we're strategizing, and, you know, crisis meetings where things have happened and we're looking for the best way to come out and apologize and, you know, do all this stuff. So this is what this is all about. You need to learn from these things. Don't be DaBaby before you learn. Learn about these things beforehand, and then in the future, you know, to curve these situations. When you see them coming, you see them coming a mile away, and then you can just dodge and get out the way. But don't be this person. Be on point. I mean, look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like, you don't hear shit about them. Nothing. Even Rihanna, to an extent. Yeah, the Chris Brown situation, a third party got involved. That's why, you know, which would be the police. But you don't hear nothing about it. You have to be on board. You have to be on point. You have to be. There's no two ways around it. You have to always be on point when you're in the public eye. So, and don't let fame get to your head, people. Seriously. Letting fame get to your head is the worst thing you can do. Because at the end of the day, you will be made accountable for all your actions. And DaBaby's feeling it. I know he is. So, in conclusion, I just wanted to touch on this, you know, and see where, because I've read into it and I see where the critics and everybody else is coming from, and I haven't really come to terms or understood how he got to that point and what made him say things like that. But I get it also, because if you know hip hop and artists and stuff, they always have a call and response moment when they're on stage. So he was basically trying to get people to say, you know, scream if you're happy, you know, bottom line. But he went about it the worst way possible, and now he's paying for it. Do not be in that situation. Accountability, accountability, accountability. It's always important. Whatever comes from you is what people will perceive. And you can say all the good things in the world. People will hear it, oh yeah, cool, and you can't. Say one bad thing and see how quickly it comes back and knocks you down. So people, like I said, accountability always. This has been Game Told. My name is JR The Cypher. Don't ever forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Catch you on the next video. Peace.